My dad was a great man, and I have a story that I always like to share with him of me and playing sports and doing school. And I don't remember the exact time. It must have been after a baseball practice, and the coach must have praised me being a smart player or something like that. And I was telling my dad about how the coach had called me smart, and I was really excited and really proud. And my dad said, "Nice job." But he asked a question that stuck with me for over 20 years. And he said, what does smart mean? And I said, well, I know what to do. And he's like, well, what made you smart? Like, how, is your brain just better? And I sat there and I listened to what he was saying. And I realized that it's just because I listened. And I had this moment, especially at the age that I was, must have been 8 years old, that so many of the kids that I was playing with really were just, they didn't listen. Like they didn't really care all that much. It's not a big deal. It's just youth baseball. But I realized that why I was considered a smart player is just because, growing up in the household that I did is you just listened to what the adults said and you did the best that you could. And so I was smart because I just listened. And that was the point my dad was trying to make. He's like, the reason why you're considered smart is because you just do your job and you work hard and you listen. Obviously we know about intelligence quotient and emotional quotient, IQ, EQ, and a lot more than that. But really, I've learned over the years, the smart people are just the ones who cared enough about a situation to think. So why aren't you smart in Overwatch? What makes a smart Overwatch player? A lot of people look at me and they see me playing ranked, or they guess when I'm playing ranked, they must be like, you must be a really smart player because you know so much. So you must go in there and you must know all the positionings and all the cooldowns. And in many ways, to an extent, that's true. But a lot of people are actually surprised at how stupid of a player I am. And I always have to sit there and explain that just because I have the knowledge doesn't mean that I can apply it. Just because I can coach or teach somebody else doesn't mean that I have the habits. People assume that, it's only going to be a mechanical problem with me, but it's not. And so really we have to ask ourselves is, what is intelligence? What is being a smart Overwatch player actually mean? I know a lot of people that also study the game obsessively, trying to get the new information, but again, can't apply it in game. See, it's not knowing stuff that matters, but it's what you do in game, what you can actually apply, which can actually transfer into action that matters. And that comes with repetition and reflection. So are you a smart or are you a stupid Overwatch player? And ultimately, what does that really mean? See, being smart isn't some life hack. A lot of times people just use, you're smart, just as an excuse to be lazy. I remember many times in school, because I was a listener, so many kids would go up to me, you're just smart, that's why you're doing well on the test. Or you're just smart, that's why you're. And I remember being very frustrated because that blame took away the effort that I put in to study what I did. I remember people used to accuse me of having a photographic memory when all I did was literally just read the pages that we were supposed to read. And I knew that none of them were reading. And that insulted me. And that frustrated me because I could also see it from their perspective, where they had just taken that excuse as, this person's smart, I'm no smart, so I can't do anything. The question is, what are you blaming? What are you blaming on a lack of smart or skill right now? What are you saying? I'm not good at that, so I can't do that. Well, no. How do you think that anybody got good at anything? How do you think anybody is smart at anything? What excuses do you have prepared? You see, some of the most intelligent people I know, ironically, are the ones most lacking in common sense and wisdom. Just because you're good at something doesn't necessarily mean that you have common sense or wisdom. So if you want to learn something, you don't even need the common sense or wisdom to get good at it, is the point. And ultimately, life should be what you want to apply yourself to is a gift. It's an opportunity. And really, no excuse to me is good enough unless it's some literal, harsh physical limitation. And I guess while we're on that point, talking about smart, true wisdom, true skill has a lot less to do with raw intelligence than you may think. Learn because learning is good. It's good for the mind. I love learning just for the sake of learning. I love being smart about things that maybe I can't even do all that well just because I enjoy learning about them. It's healthy for the mind, but let's not confuse that for skill. Regardless, never let smart be an excuse to not understand something. And for you smart people out there, never let it be an excuse to put yourself above other people that you think are not as smart as you, or to grow lazy with effort in what you do. Remember that application is what made you smart in the first place. So are you a smart player? Are you not a smart player? Do you want to be smart? And really, what is smart? And also, is smart really wisdom? At what extent does smart be just, I know how to do something, but ultimately isn't really the true wisdom and common sense that actually matters in the world out there? Give it some thought. Let me know what you think in the comments. And that's all I got.